Our planet is a large expanse of unexplored and fascinating new lands, filled with mysterious and fascinating life. It has only been several decades ago that we have finally ventured to learn about the planet Solaris. This is a celebration of this world's natural wonders. The story of our ever-changing planet. And what we can do to help it thrive. The Lament, a series of natural disasters that have persisted ever since time immemorial. For the very first time, some 10,000 years ago, the continuity of life on Solaris was jeopardized. Since then, as nature reclaimed land, so did the appearance of new organisms that have evolved to adapt to the harsh conditions. Tacit discords. Such creatures have long since established themselves in habitats around the world, and more recently, human beings have been able to live side by side with these wonderful creatures. As we gather a more profound understanding of tacit discords that can be found in every corner of our planet, learning more about them and their habitat has now become more important than ever before, so that we can understand how the natural world works. This rock highlands. Even though this is a hotspot for natural disasters for several centuries, wildlife has always managed to persist and flourish here. Tacit discords have evolved over several eons into the various forms we now know today. Here in the highlands, the scarcity of food is a never-ending problem. The northern region of Huanglong is mountainous and thus nearly barren. But even these remote places are filled with life. These birds have just finished their hunt and have returned to their nesting spots. Herons are typically social creatures, but they quickly become territorial within their nesting and hunting grounds. As the seasons change and the food harder to find, the birds fly to the south to seek warmer weather and to find newer and fresher foraging spots. The boreal forests of southern Huanglong have always been treasure troves of wildlife. This is the Winding Axe Mire. Here, the herons feed off the abundant gulpot fishes that populate the wetland. This mire is the only kind of the known world so far, and is also home to incredible life. Like this axe. The lone tacit discord here is currently the only one of its kind known so far in the natural world. A critically endangered species. The continuity of such rare species relies also on the continuity of rare biomes like this mire, and also assures the continued survival of the migratory birds. In places where rain falls abundantly all year long, lush forests grow. The warmth of the tropical rainforests supports an unparalleled diversity of life. Only here in the thick southern forests of Huanglong do we get to see a mesmerizing creature, whose monkeys. These tacet discords tend to stay on the land instead of taking to the trees. They are now traveling to the heart of the forest for the mating season. They always travel in a group of Hoosecamp monkeys, led by a Hoos chief, always on alert for incoming predators. This journey is a perilous one. Dozens of Hoosecamp monkeys don't make it to the mating grounds each year, being preyed on by their natural predators. Such is the cycle of life and the food chain. Farther away from the tropics, in the more temperate regions of Huanglong, along the rivers and in the streams, tortoises are found here. In this isolated part of the continent, surrounded by cliffs, the tortoises make their nests and partake in mating rituals. This habitat is a perfect heaven for future hatchlings to grow, free from the worry of predators. Every half year, the tortoises congregate eastward towards the coast. Such a journey is very risky, and many young tortoises don't make it to the end. Our tortoises have now arrived to the east coasts of Huanglong. Such a long, slow trek has expended much energy, so they feed on a group of fishes found here. A most delectable food for the tortoise. Land turtles by nature, they are unable to swim. Due to this, different groups of tortoises isolated by distant landmass have adapted to the specific habitats over the course of several centuries. Like here in the frigid tundra. Mount Firmament remains frozen nearly all year long. Such a place, although virtually inhospitable, still is refuge for the relative few species that are able to survive here. Wolves. Unlike their cousins in the more temperate regions, these dreadmanes have evolved thicker fur to be able to withstand the sub-zero temperatures. In the hunt for food, this dreadmane has come across its mortal enemy, a spareback bear. Unluckily for him, his pack is not around to help him in this hunt. A clash ensues. The dreadmane has gotten out of what would have been its death. Such encounters are frequent, especially in a habitat where food is scarce. For now, our wolf needs to continue its hunt. This is the mighty Light Crusher, the king of the land and the apex predator. These tacet discords are only found here in Mount Firmament. Only 13 of these rare creatures are out in the wild, making them critically endangered species. This isolated paradise is its only home, and any changes that puts this fragile habitat in danger may cause the Light Crusher to become virtually extinct. Over 90% of Renacita is untouched wilderness and full of life. This is a cuddle, Loti, and Hocus bear. All around Solaris, bears can be found in abundance, but only here in Renacita do we find these lesser species. They are also the most frequent tacit discord to be found in Renacita. Seen anywhere from the grasslands, to the valleys, to even here in the Riccioli Islands. The shallow waters fringing land is the perfect habitat for coral reefs to thrive, which in turn help nurture more marine wildlife, which furthermore sustains life on land. Such is a circle of life. Many animals that make their home in the islands are endemic species, like these hairy claw bears. Unlike normal spareback bears, hairy claw bears are known to be more docile by nature. Many decades ago, their habitat extended far beyond the Riccioli Islands, but overhunting of these species have nearly wiped them off the face of the planet. Their world has drastically shrunk, and they are now more in danger of extinction than ever before. On the southernmost portions of the Renacitan archipelago lies Septimont. Much like other parts of Renacita, it is home to a variety of unique species, found virtually nowhere else in the known world. Dragons and dinosaurs have always been considered extinct, until recent years when scientists rediscovered groups of drakes and other similar species deep in the heart of Septimont. Such rare tacit discords are specialized and have adapted to the mountainous habitats that Renacita offers. Charasaurs and their habitat have remained virtually unchanged for an uncountable many millennia. They may be the scientific ancestor of many land-living reptiles we know today. Septimont has barely changed geographically over the eras, and so did its habitat. Over half of its land is arid and mountainous. This makes it the perfect habitat for these unique reptiles that is impossible to see anywhere else in the living world. Truly a gem that needs to be conserved to ensure the continued existence of such an amazing tacit discord. Over several millennia, tacit discords have evolved to adapt to all sorts of environments. There is still so much that we do not know about the natural world. By studying these tacit discords, we have a chance to preserve this beautiful environment for these beautiful creatures. We humans still have much more to discover about our own planet. There are still many species of tacit discords to be found in the air, the land, and in the frozen wastelands. Such hardy, opportunistic, savage, ferocious, and magnificent creatures.